Hi everyone, I hope you had a really good Thanksgiving break, and I'm just here to give you a few tips for tabling before our big week next week. It's the Global Write-a-thon, and hopefully all of you have been able to sign up for at least a few times to table because it's a really good experience and we could really use your help. The biggest thing that I want you to know is that tabling isn't scary. It's not scary at all. When I was a freshman, I thought tabling was going to be terrifying. Like, I didn't want to sign up for tabling. I would get really nervous. I never knew what to say, and I did not enjoy the experience at all. But as a senior who knows a lot more about Amnesty, it is really fun, and it's a way to tell people things that you're really passionate about. There is a balance, especially with the Global Write-a-thon, between educating people and boring people. You have to really start short and sweet and read people's body language to figure out how much they want to hear. I mean, we know all these cases and we really want everyone to feel as passionate about it as we do, but you can't always talk to people forever about something because then they won't want to come back to an Amnesty table again, and next time we have an event we won't have them stopping by our table. So the biggest thing is to read body language and give the people at the table an out, because give them a chance to leave the conversation. Maybe just, if they really don't look like they're interested, maybe talk about one prisoner and hope that they'll sign that letter. Maybe possibly give them less information, because if they really want to leave, they'll just sign the letter and leave. Or at the end of the conversation, don't force them to sign a letter, but encourage them to just take other information or sign up for future emails. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Okay. Also, try to look semi-professional. I mean, you can eat at the table, you can do homework, you can talk to your friends about what happened this weekend, but try to be semi-professional. Please don't say things like, that's so gay, or they're so retarded. I know it seems like common sense, but people have said things like that at the table before, and it's really bad to have behind Amnesty's name. Also, along with that, there's no religious or political statements at the table. That's behind Amnesty's name. Like, Amnesty is bipartisan and does not support any religion, or doesn't go with any religion. So do not talk about religion or politics. Try to keep it fact-based, everything fact-based, which goes on to my next point, which is try to reduce opinions. It works better. People respect you more if you're telling them facts. So, for example, like with our Sri Lanka petition at the I Am Human event, it worked better when you said the Sri Lankan government and the Tamil Tigers both committed war crimes, international crimes, and that is why Amnesty is fighting it. Instead of going, I mean, the emotional part is important too, but it's important to kind of stay with the academic part, because Amnesty is known for having facts behind all their statements. The next point I have is to sound confident. People will respect you a lot more and want to sign something if you sound confident about it and you sound like you really have something to say about it. And they won't want to sign something if you are questioning what you're saying or don't sound passionate about it. Also, it's very good with this event to empower people. So it's really good to take someone and say, you can make a difference. You have the power to change this person's life. And if you haven't watched the video yet about the prisoner of conscience that I posted on the Facebook group, you should really, I'll attach it to this email, and you should really watch it, because it's important to feel passionate and understand that you can make a difference. So really empower people. People will hear these stories and say, these stories sound terrible, but you have the power to change this. You can make the difference. Also, don't be afraid if you get flustered or mess up. Just make a joke out of it and keep on going, because people don't take it that seriously. I will mess up on my words and completely forget what I'm saying, and I'll just say something like, I am having one of those days today, and then I will take a deep breath and start over again. It's not that intimidating. For right now, I'm going to talk about some other little tips. The blue binder, there's a blue binder on the table. It has more information about the different prisoners. If someone starts harassing you, people normally don't, but if someone did really start pushing you for facts, say that don't say you're not informed, but say you don't know all the details about all the cases, but we have this information in this binder right here if you want to look through it and educate yourself more on the cases. Also, if you ever just want to refresh your mind on the cases really fast before you go and table, those will also be there. Also, plug our event. Our event is on Thursday. Please tell people that our event's on Thursday and that they should come. Thursday night. Also, remind people, remember somewhere in your little speech that you're giving people, that this really does make a difference. There have been so many prisoners released because of letters from Amnesty, and 4 of the prisoners from GWAT last year were released, and it really does make a difference in these prisoners' lives. And even if they are not released, remind them that they do get better conditions. They get less beatings, they get a bigger cell, they get more food. It really does make a difference. Okay, so when I was a freshman, the biggest thing I used to have a problem with was I had no idea what to say when people came up to the table. Other people would have these like little things prepared that they knew exactly what to say, and I never had any idea what I was going to say. So what I'm going to tell you is pretty much what I'm going to say when people come up to the table for me. And you guys can choose to do what you want with it. I would encourage you to make it your own and add things that you think are necessary and take things away. I'm not saying that this is an ideal speech at any means. I'm just saying that this is what I'm going to say. So if you want an idea of what you could say, here is something. Okay, so typically when people approach the Amnesty table, I say, have you ever heard of Amnesty International? And usually they say no. So I say, Amnesty International is an international organization with 2.8 million members. We work with human rights abuses such as, enter big name abuses, such as Guantanamo, Darfur, women's rights, the death penalty, those kinds of abuses or different issues. Then I usually say one of Amnesty's main campaigns is concerning prisoners of conscience. A prisoner of conscience is a person being imprisoned because of the peaceful expression of their beliefs. It's important to include that because some people will think the second you say prisoners that you're supporting prisoners who are in jail for felonies in the United States, and they don't understand what prisoners of conscience are. And then you're going to have to go into the prisoners of conscience. Remember to keep it very short and watch body language. If they seem really interested, go ahead and tell them a lot more about the cases, because they're good stories, but if they seem really hesitant, then don't go into it as much. And then you can go in and say, these stories are horrible, but with Amnesty believes you can make a difference with only your signature. We're participating in an event with all of Amnesty International where we will send thousands of letters to the governments who are holding the prisoners, asking for them to look again at their cases and possibly release them, as well as send cards of solidarity to the prisoners so they can know that they are not alone. If you feel comfortable signing these cards or letters, you'd be really changing these prisoners' lives. If you don't feel comfortable but you think you would be interested in upcoming events or joining, sign up to be put on our email list or just take info in candy and tell your friends about it. At the end of my speech, I always give people this out. I always give people the opportunity to not sign the letter, because like 96% of the time people will. But that 4% of the time we lost those people if we push them to sign something. We lost them because they will not come to an Amnesty table again if they feel really uncomfortable at our table the first time that they stop by. They won't come again. So I always try to give people that out, saying you don't need to sign the letter if you don't feel comfortable. It's just kind of good practice so that we don't make people nervous and make them really want to come back to Amnesty again. So pretty much my speech starts with an intro about Amnesty, moves into the prisoners of conscience, talks about the Global Write-a-thon and what we want from them, and then at the end I give the outs. That's just a speech that I will probably give. It's not, like I said, perfect by any means, and I'm sure that a lot of people could come up with something better, but it's what I say, and I just think it's helpful sometimes to have that, so you can say something, so you know what you could say, so it's not completely, I'm so sorry, it's late, it's not completely scary and terrifying, because tabling really shouldn't be. Tabling is my favorite thing to do, and I really hope you guys all sign up for a time to table and enjoy yourselves, and I really hope this event this week could be so great and we can get so many signatures. And I love the Global Write-a-thon, and I hope that you guys all feel as passionate about it as I do. And I just hope you guys are all enjoying Amnesty, and if you want to table and you haven't tabled yet, please email Molly. And thank you for watching this whole thing, because I know it's long and it's late, so I'm probably rambling on. And I just want to thank you, and I will see you all this week, especially on Thursday at our event. Okay, bye.